Okay, so we're ready to go live. Hi everyone, this is Sachin from Nearbuy, and this is Kapil with me, and all of us. Great. While you're watching us on YouTube, we would want you to make this session as interactive as possible. Please keep writing in your questions, your comments on the comments page on YouTube, and we'll try and pick them up as we go along. So currently I can see that we have 37 viewers online, and we're I think good to go. Great. It's a difficult one doing a one-way interaction because I don't, I'm not getting a response from your end, which is live, so it's going to be a little difficult, but let me try my best. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to begin. You can keep, the team leads can keep messaging Kapil in case there's anything. I'd like to know if you guys can see my screen right now. Okay. All right. So first of all, congratulations on making to the most loved internship program in the country. I think we got thousands and thousands of applications, and it's really a proud moment for us to see all of you here. For all those who are looking at this webinar right now, and for all those who are back home in their classes doing something else and will be watching a recorded version of this webinar later on, all of you, congratulations. I think it's a big moment for all of you and for us to have you on board. To kickstart the season 3 of Nearby Ninjas, I'd like to start with a small quote that you see here. By the famous Benjamin Franklin, as he once said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I will learn." That's the basis for this program. We believe that we're building a billion-dollar company in the local commerce space, in the services space. There are lots of companies that do e-commerce. There are lots of companies that do physical commerce. There is no one single entity that serves the local businesses. We are building a billion-dollar company here, and we want to involve the new generation. We want to involve you. We want you to be part of it. We want you to be part of our growth story. And that's the foundation of Nearby Ninjas. And I'm absolutely excited and jumping with excitement right now to see that there has been such a phenomenal response to this internship program. Kapil has been the backbone. He's been running this program for 2 seasons now. This is the 3rd one. In fact, he came on as an intern to Nearby and now is part of the marketing team running multiple marketing programs. Moving on, let me cover in terms of what are the things that we're going to be covering in today's webinar. I'm going to talk a little bit about Nearby. What is it that we do? Where are we present? What is the core business idea? I'm going to be talking about 2 important things that drive us, that make us mad, that make us run every day, that make us get up and rush to office every day. These are 2 vital pillars of our existence. I'm going to take you through a little bit about marketing at Nearby. What is our thought process? What is our basis? And what are some of the interesting campaigns and work that we've done? And you guys are very much part of the marketing team here. So it's going to be very exciting to have you on board for the next 5 to 6 weeks. And we're going to do some real exciting stuff. I'm not going to cover the challenges today because that is something that Kapil keeps doing on the groups. And you guys, I've seen the introductions. I'm loving the excitement. And we're going to take it forward from there. I'm going to be talking about a little bit about Nearby Ninjas in terms of what is the ideology, what is the philosophy of running this, and in the end, it's all about expectation setting. So as we go along, I would want you guys to keep typing in your questions in the comment section on YouTube, and we will try and take those questions at the end of the session, as many as we can. But we want to make this as interactive as possible, so please start putting down your questions as soon as they come into your head. Do not wait. The more questions that we see, the more we know that you were listening and involved. If I don't see any questions, then I know that I'm probably talking into the computer screen and nobody's listening. All right, let's start with what's about Nearbuy. So to give you a very, very quick overview of what Nearbuy does, Nearbuy is actually a platform that helps bring together the supply that our local merchants have. When I say local merchants, these are restaurants, spas, salons, any business establishment that gives out a service and is present and is used by consumers when they walk out of their homes. That is the target business for Nearbuy. So what we're doing is we're matching this business supply or services supply with consumer demand in real time. We became Nearbuy last year in August. So this month actually is our first anniversary month, and we'll be completing 1 year on 10th of August. But we've reached many milestones within this 1 year. Over 1 million plus customers have already bought their first voucher on Nearbuy. There are over 2 million plus mobile app users for Nearbuy. There are 10 million page views that we get on the web every month. And over 5 million people have registered to receive our daily newsletters. We sell a Nearbuy voucher every 11 seconds. So it tells you that in the 1 year that we've been present, we've just accelerated like crazy. Customers have loved us, merchants have loved us, and the only way for us to go from here is to go and grow. Currently, we are present in 33 cities across India, and we don't intend to grow beyond this, at least for this year, because we're trying to consolidate our position. We're trying to get as many merchants, as much local supply here. We are also in the business of getaways, hotels, and that is a small part of our business right now, but that is increasing. The core idea of Nearbuy is to find whatever you love around you, fire up the mobile app, whatever you're in the mood for, get your questions answered and find the places that you love. Okay, I haven't received any questions so far, so I'm assuming that everybody's able to see and everybody's able to understand where I am. In case there's anything, please ensure that you are on top of it. Please ensure that the managers are texting Kapil to understand if there are any questions at any point in time. Okay, moving forward. Attractive customer base. In the 1 year that we've been in existence, we've got a very, very good and a very, very diverse customer base within the Indian subcontinent. 30% of the households are with an annual income in excess of 18 lakh plus. What that tells us that a large part of customers who are coming to us are coming in from the upper middle class families as well. 30% of our customers are coming from the upper middle class families. It's a smarter way to buy. It's not about deals anymore. It's about making a smarter decision. It's about using your money wisely. It's about finding the right options. 90% have a college degree, which means that 90% of the consumers who are buying on Nearbuy are graduates. 40% of those have a postgraduate degree as well. And that is very, very encouraging because it showcases that this is really the cream of the Indian consumer audiences. The merchants are loving it. 55% of them are first buyers. Goes to show that we are growing at a very, very phenomenal pace. Month on month, 55% of our buyers are new, are first time buyers. 40% are women. So a large percentage of women buyers, especially for segments like spas, salons, beauty treatments, which is again a very, very big category for us. And in terms of age bracket, 25 to 34 is our dominant age bracket. So we're really serving the millennials, as they're called in the marketing parlance. 61.8% of our customers are between 18 to 34 years of age. That's really an enviable sort of customer mix that we have in India. Very few consumer internet brands or e-commerce brands enjoy that kind of a customer audience. It gives us great leeway, especially with large merchants, especially with affluent merchants, to help us, get them on board and get you guys the best offers. Okay, so moving on. Kapil, am I going too fast? Have we received any questions, queries so far?
Actually, just sending the links, those who are not available right now. So.
Okay, okay. Great. So moving on, about Nearby, I give you a quick brief on the numbers. Now I'd like to take you through what drives. There are two things that drive us. One is customers and one is our culture. We're crazy, we're mad. Every day we come to office because we're crazy about these two things. When I talk about customers, what is it? What is our philosophy about customers? Let me start with that. Our customer philosophy is very, very simple. We start from the customer and work backwards. Now, if you see this photograph, you see a restaurant, a cafe where people are buying, people are texting, people are having coffee and so on and so forth. For us, the customer lies on both sides of the table. The customer is the consumer who's consuming the service, the coffee, the muffins, and the person who's serving it. Which means that for us, the merchants and the consumers, both of them are extremely, extremely important. Okay, so I do see some questions coming in. Gaurav, what is the source of this data? Quite a few customers of Nearby are graduate and postgrad. Don't think Nearby asks for any such deals while registering. Very valid, Gaurav. I will keep answering these questions as we go forward. And thank you. It goes to show that, we have people listening, which is very good. I will cover and take all of these questions right in the end. So I was talking about two kinds of customers, merchants and consumers. For merchants, we are a business which is merchant first. And I would like to elaborate that a little bit more. When we rebranded from Groupon to Nearby, the reason for that rebranding was simple. At Groupon, we were the largest deal site in the world. The only thing that our core motto as Groupon was save the money. We existed because we wanted our consumers to save money. As we moved further, we realized that deals is a very important part of our consumer ecosystem. But at the same time, everybody is offering deals. So whether it is an e-commerce company, a Flipkart, an eBay, an Amazon, everybody is offering deals today. Every restaurant is offering happy hours. There are card offers, there are multiple offers. To the extent that there are certain individuals and certain organizations that are taking advantage of the trust that consumers place in these deals, sales, 50% off, 60% off. As the population is growing, as the consumer power is growing, as the mobile penetration is growing, it's very easy for people to find deals. It's not what people run after. What people run after is a great service. It's something that they're looking for at that very moment of time. If you're going back from college and you're in the mood for some coffee, you're not going to spend 2 hours of your time trying to find the cheapest coffee joint. You are going to go to a coffee joint that you love. You might love it because it offers some great coffee at great rates. You might love it because it just offers great coffee, because it has great ambience, it has great crowd. So you're looking for your favorite coffee place. What you're looking for is whether can I go to that place? Is it overcrowded? Is it vacant? Can I sit there? Can I grab my cup of coffee? So all these questions come to you way before it comes to you, that comes to your head that you want a 50-60% discount, right? So for merchants, we're trying to solve a problem of capacity utilization. Let me elaborate that a little bit more. Capacity utilization, if this person in the photograph is running a coffee cafe, that's pretty full right now, but might be empty at certain other hours of the day. Let's say it's a Tuesday and there's a salon that's running absolutely empty. That person needs to solve a business problem, and we're helping them solve a business problem. That's why we call ourselves a merchant first business. We help merchants find customers, and that is how merchants give us the best offers, because they don't advertise in newspapers, they don't advertise in radio, they just work with us to get customers, and they only pay when a customer walks in. That's the best business proposition that we give to our merchants. Coming on to the consumer side of the story, we help consumers find businesses. We help consumers find things that they want to do, right from restaurants to spas to salons to gaming parlors to horse riding sessions, you name it, from activities to movies. You can book everything on the Nearby app. So for us, everything that we do, we start from the customer. When we're talking about our applications, when we're talking about our technology, when we're talking about the solutions that we provide, we start with our customers and work backwards. To give you an example of this, Nearbuy was the first company to launch a comprehensive merchant dashboard, which means that every merchant who features with us gets a Google Analytics like dashboard that he can see how many offers has he featured on Nearbuy, what's been the number of customers who have walked in already, what's the kind of money he's made, how much money has been sent to the merchant via Nearbuy. All of that is available on that dashboard. We are still going on and enriching that dashboard with a lot more information which the merchant can utilize. If I have to draw a parallel between what Nearbuy will do in the future for a merchant, I will draw a parallel to Google AdWords. I don't know how many of you are aware of Google AdWords, but I'm sure all of you have searched on Google and have found those tiny ads on top, which you can click and go on to. So every e-commerce player, every online player uses Google AdWords. We are creating a Google AdWords equivalent for the merchants in this country. So a merchant, when he's running empty, can create a real-time advertisement on Nearbuy, which will feature and which will be shown to people who are in and around that establishment. They can click on that, buy, enter, and that's how the merchant fills up. It's a win-win for everybody, because the merchant fills up empty capacity and the consumers get a great offer. Okay, so that's about customers. Going back to what drives us, there are two things, as I said. One is customers and the second is culture. By culture, I mean our organization culture. By culture, I mean the DNA of this company, right from the CEO to the person who helps us serve coffee in the canteen. Everybody is one individual here, right? We all live by certain ethos, certain principles, and there are three words that drive our culture. There's respect, there's ownership, and there's performance. This is absolutely vital. As you get associated with Nearbuy, we want you to look at this slide very, very carefully, because this is something that we are absolutely mad about. When I say respect for every individual in the organization. It does not matter what your designation is. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter where you come from, ethnic background, educational background. Nothing matters. Only thing matters is what do you do and how do you do it. So every individual in this organization is respected. To give you an example, every year we have an offsite. The entire company for the past 3 years has been, while we were Groupon and we became Nearbuy, this practice hasn't stopped. We go for an annual offsite to Goa. And during that offsite, it's not just the company staff that goes, it's also the company office boys that go. The office boys who help us, keep our desks clean, serve us coffee, help us work and be efficient are equally important to us. Nobody disrespects them. Nobody talks to them in a wrong fashion. Everybody is important in this company. So respect is the first pillar of our culture. The second is ownership. Every individual working in this organization, whether he's an intern, a full-time employee, a team lead, a head of department, or even the CEO, everybody owns this company. To give you an example, you have Kapil right here who came in as an intern and started this program, Ninjas. It was as if his life depended on this program. It was as if his life depended on this program. He was at it day in, day out. It was as if he owned this program. He owned this company. This was his company. He made sure that all the interns got all the information in time. He made sure that the company benefited from the internship program that we were running. Everything was done as if his life depended on it, and everything was done as if it was his own company. That's what ownership is all about. Ownership is about caring. Ownership is about not thinking that this is somebody else's job. You think as if this is my company. The third pillar of our culture is performance. It's the most important thing. It's what we strive for. And none of these pillars can stand individually. If you are a high performer, but you have no respect for others and you have no ownership, then you won't be able to survive in this organization. If you have respect and ownership, but there's no performance, I'm sorry. Performance is what is the outcome and the output that you're delivering. You need to ensure that whatever you're doing, you're giving your 100% and more, and that is what is performance. By performance, we measure input metrics more than output metrics, which means that we look at every individual and we see whether the effort that he's putting in or she's putting in is in the right direction. The outcomes could vary, but we at all points of time control the input metrics. We have a small book called the Little Book of Big Things, which is like our culture book. Kapil will send a link, a downloadable link for that PDF document to each one of you after this webinar. Go through it. It's the Bible that we live by every day. And in the next few slides, I'm going to take you through some of the important Bible. So, and all of these are based on respect, ownership, and performance. Respect. So for us, attitude is greater than experience and greater than education, which means that what is it that you wear on your sleeve every day when you come to work? That's attitude. That's what matters to us. That is what is the most important and valued trait in this organization. If your attitude is right, we will give you more importance than anybody who's experienced, but his attitude is not right. And we will give more value to experience than we will give to education. Hard work beats everything. Absolutely everything. Moving on to ownership. So output, we absolutely distinguish between the outcome and the output. Now, let me give you an example here. Let's say if you are a marketing manager at Nearby and your job is to run a certain marketing program. Let's say your job is to run newspaper ads. Now the output is that the newspaper ad was published in the newspaper, but the outcome is what happened to that newspaper ad. What did we achieve out of that newspaper ad? Did we achieve the right kind of traffic on the website? Did we have enough sales? Will we do that newspaper ad again or not? Everything is the outcome. So what we look at when we look at ownership is, does the individual own the outcome or does the individual own the output? Performance. We're absolutely anal about performance, whether it comes to online marketing, whether it comes to sales. Every organization department is data driven. We only take data driven decisions. We don't rely on subjectivity. Everything is data driven, and that is why we just believe that the only truth is data. Everything else needs a proof. Okay, moving on from performance to marketing. And the good thing is now this marketing department is suddenly going to become very, very large. We're going to have more than 1,000 people in the marketing department right now because we have each one of you as interns in the marketing department. So I'm going to give you a little bit background into marketing at Nearby. What did we do? How did we change our ethos? So when we were part of a larger entity called Groupon, the only marketing ethos we used to work on was deals. It was very, very simple. It was very easy because the only thing that you had to do was you had to ensure that customers who love deals are absolutely excited to see your brand. From that perspective, we moved to a discovery platform. So at Nearby, we love to call ourselves a lifestyle discovery engine because you can discover so many things on Nearby. So that was not just a mindset change. That was not just a brand change. It was a complete ethos change, right? So we had to move to a thought process where people saw a platform that gave them the options. They gave them a lot of choice and helped them make a decision. And that's what it is. So when we became Nearby, we reworked everything. We reworked our brand colors because we thought that green as a color was very, very close to and almost owned by Groupon. And Groupon as a brand owned the word deals. So we moved away from the color. We moved to a color that also had a little bit of, luxurious element in it, also had a little bit of value element in it, and red as a color is about energy. We identified with customer personas who really were energetic and enthusiastic enough to find the best things around them, to be the local warriors who will want to have an adventure every day, who would want to go out, find new restaurants, find new places, be the stars in their group, would like to talk about the best places to go in their city, the best things to do, spend the best weekends, and still be very, very smart about their money. So we changed to a color that was red. You will always see that the word nearby, Nearbuy, will always start with a small n. And that was kept on purpose because we wanted to be friendly. We didn't want to come across as a stiff brand, which is very, very aspirational. No, we are a friendly brand. We are a very approachable brand. We are like that friend in the group whom you can always ask information, always ask to tag along, and we'll be right by your side. So 3 things that drive marketing at Nearby are insight, impulse, and impact. And I will elaborate on each of these things. The first thing is insight. So we believe that what's most important for us is to get consumer insight. We need to know where we fit in. And to give you a sense of where Nearby fits in, we fit in when a consumer has decided to step out. But at the same time, he's not sure on where he wants to go. Let me give you an example. Let's say on a Friday evening, you guys finish off your classes and you step out of college. Now you know that because it's a Friday evening, you're not headed home. You want to party, you want to go out to a nice place, you want to spend some time with friends, but that question always comes up. What's next? What are we doing? Right? I'm sure that question comes up. So that is where Nearby fits in. Exactly at that point of time, if you fire up the Nearby app, we don't want you to always make a purchase from Nearby. You can actually just fire up the app and you will notice that Nearby gives you enough and more options. You might, if you are smart enough with your money, you might buy a couple of vouchers and enter your favorite restaurants or places where you want to party. But that's not the objective. The objective is that the moment you've decided to step out and you're slightly clueless about where you want to go, that's where we place Nearby. So that's the insight that we believe we've got on, and that's the place that we want to kind of grab hold with both our hands in the consumer mind, and that's what marketing at Nearby is working about. Impulse. Now, a lot of our decisions today in the mobile world are driven by impulse. To give you an example, if we had to watch a movie, 3 to 5 years back, we had to do a lot of planning, we had to search, we had to think, we had to talk to friends. Today, we just, fire up the mobile browser on our mobile phones, we search about the movie, we look at IMDb, we look at the trailer, we look at the story, we look at the ratings, and boom, we decide to walk in for a movie. We could either buy a ticket or book my show, or we could just walk into the theaters and buy a ticket. So everything, because of mobiles, become impulse driven. Planning is reduced. People are living their lives on the go. While you're on your way to the mall, you decide which restaurant you want to go. You don't pre-decide it, because everything is impulse based, every information is at your fingertips, and that's what we drive people from. So when we're looking at the insight that people will decide on the go, and we should be present right at the moment where the cluelessness strikes, the impulse of the offers that we're showing, we arrange our offers in a way that your impulse drives you to buy. And the third thing is impact. Everything that we do, we measure the impact. Whether it's a brand campaign, and I will show 2 campaigns that we did recently, which were big successes, and I will give you examples of insight, impulse, and impact. So everything that we do, from brand campaigns to online campaigns, is measured down to the T. We look at what kind of customers are coming, which sources are they coming from, what is the lifetime value they bring to the table, how will they interact with us, and how will they buy in the future. Okay, so moving on to some campaign examples. 2 campaigns that I'd like to highlight since we've been Nearby. One is Batman versus Superman, and I'll give you a little bit context about this campaign. So when we started Nearby, we were spending a lot of money in customer acquisition. We were doing online marketing, we were doing radio, we were doing some bit of outdoors as well. But we realized that there has to be a point where a large number of customers come to us organically. They come to us because there is something on the site that attracts them. And it couldn't be deals. So when we were Groupon, we could easily run a deal which was 50% off on something where you don't find discounts and you would get lots and lots of customers. But here we were nearby. We could not talk about deals. We had to talk about experiences. We went back to the drawing board and we started looking for an insight. We looked at Google Analytics, we looked at Facebook, we looked at the data that these platforms provide, and we found one very, very interesting thing. So both Google Analytics and Facebook pointed in one direction. It told us that a large part of our customer base is crazy about movies. If you've ever logged into Google Analytics, you will see that there are affinity categories. By affinity, I mean what are the interests and hobbies of people who are coming to your website, to your mobile app. What is it that they do on the internet besides logging onto your website? That is affinity. And we saw a lot of affinity coming in for movies. And that was the insight. That told us that if we do something with movies, that is bound to generate a lot of interest for our customers. So we went ahead and tied up with DC Comics, and we said that we will help you launch the biggest superhero movie of this year, which is Batman versus Superman. We did a very, very simple thing. We put up an offer for zero price, and we said that you could choose to support Batman or choose to support Superman. And whichever superhero wins with more number of votes, all those people who voted for that superhero stand to win some fantastic merchandise. This could be movie tickets, premiere passes, official merchandise of the movie, and so on and so forth. It was a zero-priced offer. And I'll tell you why a zero-priced offer. The moment we put it up, we saw tremendous amount of customer interest. People came in, people shared it on their social media pages. In fact, our last group of Nearby Ninjas really helped us push this offer out to a large set of people. And we had more than 50,000 unique people come in and vote for their favorite superhero. Batman obviously won hands down, but we also won because we had close to about 50,000 people who came in and experienced Nearby. They downloaded the app, they went through the website, and almost 12% of these guys actually went ahead and made a second purchase, which means that they actually bought other offers on Nearby, giving us lots and lots of money. So this was an absolutely campaign driven by these three things. Insight. The insight was that people have high affinity towards movies. The impulse was because it was a zero-priced offer, nobody bothered. People just went through the experience and bought the offer. And the impact was that 12% of more than these 50,000 customers actually went on and bought something else, thereby generating revenues for us. And we're tracking each and every movement of these new customers who came in, what sources they came from, what are they doing on the website, what kind of offers they're buying, and we now have a formula to kind of scale up and get more and more customers using movies as an affinity category. The second was a very interesting thing that helped us trend nationally on Twitter. Again, the insight was that a lot of people want to do something for their moms or Mother's Day, but they're not able to. They want to create a special experience. So we asked people to nominate their moms. We called the campaign Mominate, and help their mom get a unique and special experience. So I'm going to just show you a video here, and hopefully you guys can see it as it streams from my YouTube to your YouTube. And that will actually explain you the concept. Okay, let me give it a moment.
She is the heart of the family. It's our mother who brings us all together, reminds us we are a family and we need to take care of each other. Everyone takes sick leaves, everyone takes holidays. My mom is a constant. But it's unnatural for her to rest. We thought after we kids left the house, she would have some rests, but she's still been working the same amount, taking care of my grandmother and dad. She would never do something like this by herself. It's pretty hectic for her, and it's pretty much impossible for her to get out of the house. Moms are special. They place everyone else's needs in front of theirs without taking a break in the process. So this Mother's Day, we decided to give them a break. We invited sons and daughters from across the country to tell us about their moms. We picked up this one story that I'm at right now, which we felt connected with us the most. We've designed a day that hopefully she will love. While she's away, I'm going to fill in for her, taking care of the house. So I thought it would be the ideal gift for her.
बच्चे का सिंपल निकलने का टाइम नहीं मिलता कि जब भी बच्चों ने प्लान किया मेरे लिए कि इसका पेडिक्योर आगे मैंने पहली बार कराया। मेरी लाइफ में फैमिली का बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस है कि मैं अपने बच्चे अपने हस्बैंड से बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार करती हूँ।
Okay. All right. So as you saw, the insight of that campaign was that everybody wants to treat their moms to a special experience, but it's very difficult in our daily lives to take out time and create something special. So we thought we will do something special for at least one mom, and the campaign got a lot of impact. And we got a very, very good response to this particular campaign. In fact, people shared the video. We had a lot of views on Facebook. This campaign also trended nationally on Twitter. So it was a very, very good thing. Again, the impact, the impulse was that it was driven by the fact that so many people wanted to nominate their moms, and we got a very, very good response. In fact, we opened this up for a very, very short period, but we got some close to, I think, 900 or 1,000 responses of people who wrote in large, big essays on why they want to nominate their moms, what's so special, and so on and so forth. So we got a lot of people writing in, really pushing for their moms to get nominated, but we really chose this one story because it was very heartwarming. It was something that we thought would touch the lives and hearts of a lot of people. So we took this story, and the impact, as we said, we again measured the impact, and the impact was on the brand. We had direct searches for Nearby going up. We saw Nearby trending on Twitter. We saw the direct traffic on the site going up. So overall, it was a fairly successful brand campaign for us. Okay, moving on to Nearby Ninjas, and I'm going to be wrapping this up pretty quickly now, and I'll be taking up some of the very, very good questions that I see coming in on the YouTube page. So Nearby Ninjas, what's the ethos? Some people have already asked, why is it called Nearby Ninjas? Why couldn't there be a better name for it? Well, the idea, the thought behind Nearby Ninjas was to first make it one of the most loved internship programs in the country. When both Kapil and I, when we met Kapil, we realized that he was looking for an internship. And we thought that what could be a very, very exciting internship program. And as I started the presentation with that one quote, we truly believe that if we involve people like you, youngsters, to really not just do some sort of a business development role for us, but help us spread the word, get feedback. We got a lot of feedback in season 1 and 2, and really spread the word about the unique things that Nearby is doing. I think our objective would have been achieved. And the reason we called it ninjas, because it was not easy. It was not that you're going out, you're not like an army that's going out and really trying to sell something. A ninja is an undercover agent, almost a Japanese equivalent of a spy, that went very quietly amongst enemy territories and got the job done. We have no enemies, but we want you guys to go into areas where we can get insight, quietly get into the customer's mind for us, help us spread the word, and really be very, very subtle and elicited. The cool thing about a ninja is that he or she never gets noticed, and that's what we want you guys to do. We want you to be seamlessly integrated into the social fabric of this country, right? Be out there in your cities, talk to your friends, to your families. You will see that the kind of tasks that we will give you will not be hard sell tasks at all, will be very, very creatively challenging tasks. We will ask you to do a lot of things where you will spread the word very, very subtly. You will get to experience Nearby and get others, your friends, family, and other people to experience Nearby as well, and very quietly spread the word. And I think a lot of credit goes to Kapil and to the interns of the previous 2 Nearby Ninjas program, that they've really done this very well. We've got some great response. We've got other companies contacting us saying that, how do you run this internship program? The response has been phenomenal. And we've even heard from friends and family that, that there are people who want to really join this program. So it's all because of really, really bright students like you that this program is moving on. And the reason we call it ninjas is that we don't want to be out there in your face. We want to be subtle, we want to be quiet, and we want to be seamless. So 3 things that are extremely important for the Nearby Ninjas program. One is identify, understand, and resolve. When I say identify, it's very important for us to identify our customers. While I presented a very, very detailed demographic to you about our customers, it's just the beginning, and this customer base is bound to evolve. In a country like India, having 90% graduates as a customer base, while is great from a quality perspective, I don't think we will be able to maintain it as we move along. Right? The literacy rate in this country is not very, very high, and 90% graduates is not something that we'll be able to maintain. So we need to identify what are our emerging customer segments. Are they the students? Are they elderly people? Are they people in tier 2 and 3 towns? And that is what we will use your eyes and ears to do. Understand their motivations. When we want to drive marketing, we need insight, and that insight only comes in from understanding customer behavior. This year in the Ninjas program, we will be undertaking a very, very detailed research program which will help us understand not only customers and their behaviors, but also their motivations, also what drives them, also what drives their decision-making process. Resolve. We want you people to help us spread the word, and the challenges that we will give you will creatively challenge your ideas. We want you to resolve those problem statements in a way which are absolutely creative, and I'm going to be laying that out in my expectations in the next slide. So I hope I've answered some of the questions that have come through, but I will be taking them up nonetheless at the end of the program. So as Nearby Ninjas, identify, understand, and resolve. Expectations. What do I expect from all of you in this program? The most important thing is respect, ownership, performance. That's part of our culture. We take you as part of our team. You're not an outsider. You want to call us, you want to write to us, my email ID will also be shared. You can write to us, we can get on a call, we can discuss things. So you need to ask as many questions as come to your head. Do not think that any question is a stupid question. Keep asking questions. Keep troubling us with as many questions as they come to your head. Do not stop. Be honest. Whatever you do, especially when you're going through the program, be honest with yourself. Do the right thing when nobody's looking. When we give you surveys, when we give you tasks, do them honestly or just walk out. Say this is something that I don't enjoy and I'm not doing it, and we'll be very happy and we'll shake hands and we'll let you walk away. But if you try and cheat, then that will come out, and that'll be the worst thing. That'll be the worst thing from a long-term perspective. Think out of the box. A very cliched statement, but I mean it. You will see when you're given the ninja tasks that you will have to think out of the box. There are people who've done some tremendous creative stuff in the past 2 seasons. You can ask Kapil for some of the ideas, some of the things that people have done in the past, and they've really surprised us. So we want you to set the benchmarks even higher for the next season, that people come back and say that Nearby Ninjas-3 was really a level apart. Yeah, so that's all as far as expectations from my end is concerned. I would like to know what are the expectations from your end. Please put it as comments on the page. Please go ahead and send us emails, WhatsApp us, whatever it is. Just ensure that we get whatever you expect from the program. So that's it from my end. Thank you so much. I'm going to be taking up. We're going to go off for 5 minutes, and then we're going to be taking all the questions that you guys have put up. We're just looking at the questions and preparing our responses. To give us 5 minutes, and we'll be back with all the answers to your questions. Meanwhile, you want to grab a cup of coffee, you want to grab a soft drink or something. Let's be back in exactly 5 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to be taking in questions as they came in. I'm going to be naming the individual who's put up the question and also taking up the question, and I'm trying and answer it. I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability. So Rohan is asking, what is meant by boomers? Well, Rohan, that's a classic marketing classification of individuals. Okay, so based on when they were born. We can actually send out a Google link to you where you can get the detailed description. But just to give you a very top highlight, people who are today between the age group of 18 to 34 are referred to as millennials. People who are 35 to 44 are referred to as Gen X. And people who are in the age group of 45 to 54 are referred to as baby boomers. These are all different stages of the world economy and how it evolved. And what is believed in the marketing parlance is that people born in a certain era were exposed to a certain kind of economic and socio-economic environment, and their behaviors were in line. Not that a guy in India would behave as the guy in the US, but there were certain behavioral traits which were similar, and you could club them, especially if you're operating in one country as we are today, and you can really identify with their behavior. So I hope that answers your question, but we will definitely send you a detailed link which helps you get more information. The second question is sent by Aditya. Aditya says, Mr. Sachin, after rebranding as Nearby, what do you feel was the key to maintaining and sustaining the market and market share of Groupon? Well, to give you a little bit more insight, when we became Nearby, I think the key thing that we wanted to maintain was the trust that the consumers and the merchants had in us. As an organization, as a group of individuals, that was very important. It's very easy for us Indians to believe in multinationals because we feel that, you know, multinationals are way more honest and earnest as compared to some of the Indian companies. So while we were Groupon and we were part of this global entity, when we became Nearby, I think it was very important for us to keep that trust with our customers. To keep that trust, we did two things. On the merchant side, we ensured that our merchant payments always happen on time. So to give you some sense, what happens is when, as a consumer, you buy an offer on Nearby, the money that you pay us, we retain a commission of that and we send out the rest to the merchant. Now, we ensured that merchant payments happen to our merchants every Wednesday on the dot. They have detailed information on what, you know, why is the payment going out to them, what is it that the customers had paid for, and how many customers have walked in. So that was something that we kept. On the customer side, we introduced something called the Nearby Promise. So if you go to the website, there's a Nearby Promise, which clearly states that if you've bought one of our offers and you've not been able to use it for any reason, let's say you forgot, you were traveling, the voucher expired, we will give you your money back. Not only that, you actually went ahead and used the voucher. Let's say you had a meal and you did not enjoy the meal because what was mentioned to you on the offer was not something that was provided to you. We will actually go ahead and refund that money, no questions asked. So we really plus our customers, and our customers have responded really, really well. We've not seen, you know, even 10 to 12 cases till now in a year where people have actually misused that promise. It's only been genuine cases, and we're loving every interaction that we're having with our customers on that. So that's what we did to maintain the essence of Nearby when we moved from being a global brand to being a Indian brand. Next, Gaurav Gupta is saying, what is the source of this data that quite a few customers of Nearby are graduate and postgrad? I don't think Nearby asks for any such details while registering. That's right, Gaurav. We don't ask for these details because we want to make your sign-up process absolutely simple and frictionless. But we do occasionally conduct surveys, consumer surveys, that tell us what the demographics of our customers are. And if you've been signed up on Nearby for quite a lot of time, you would receive this survey anytime soon. We ran this study, as you would see in the presentation, we ran this study between Jan and April of 2016, and that's how we got the demographic data. This is obviously based on a sample size, and it's a survey that we conducted. Okay, sorry. We got disconnected. I think there was some technical snag. So I was answering Nikhil's question where he said, what are the benefits for a business to get listed on Nearby? The biggest benefit for a business to get listed on Nearby is to help consumers discover that business. Now, a lot of businesses, whether they're restaurants, whether they're spas, salons, they actually do a lot of advertising. They spend money in doing radio ads, print ads, and so on and so forth, so that people know about their restaurant. A lot of people advertise on online platforms like Zomato, and so what we do here is we provide a marketing platform where you don't have to pay in advance. How it works is when you have to put an ad in a newspaper, what you eventually do is you go and you pay that newspaper, your ad appears, and then you wait for response. Here it's exactly the opposite. A business comes and features with us. Customers who are in and around that area discover that business. They walk in, and only when customers walk in we charge a commission to the customers, to the business. We keep certain part of that money that the customer pays us and remit the balance to the merchant. So the merchant is really not paying us anything out of his pocket, and he's only paying us actually when the customer is walking in. So it's an ideal marketing platform. We do a lot of marketing for the merchant through online, through Google, through Facebook, sometimes even through radio, depending on what are the marketing channels and what are the areas that we are promoting in. And all of this actually goes out and is free for the merchant. So it's an excellent marketing platform. That's how merchants benefit. And going forward, merchants will actually, as I mentioned, will be able to put real-time offers, which means that like Google AdWords or Facebook ads, they will be able to put up an offer and stream that offer to a bunch of people who are in and around that establishment at that point of time. And that is what will make Nearby truly powerful and useful for merchants. Moving on, Aditya, again, Mr. Sachin, after rebranding as Nearby, what do you feel was the key to maintaining? I think I've already answered this question. Rohit, what is the key factor that would convince customers to connect with the market through Nearby instead of connecting directly with the market? The key factor is the same key factor that makes people use an e-commerce website, the same key factor that makes people use a Book My Show. The first factor is convenience. The second factor is the power of knowledge. When you're going towards a mall, you don't want to dine out at the same restaurant each time you go to the mall. You want to know what new places have opened up. You want to know what offers are running in those new places. You want to know what's the best menu. And gradually, Nearby will give you that, not only for restaurants, but also for spas, for activities, for a lot of other things. In fact, Nearby will help you decide and answer the question, what's the plan? That is what Nearby will do. I'm sure a lot of you ask that question to your friends, to your family. Once you're near the place where you want to visit, you always ask, where do you want to have the food? Where do you want to watch the movie? Which movie? All of that will be answered by Nearby. And the good thing is you will not just get the information, you can actually transact, buy, book, and walk in to the place of your choice. That's the key factor. And obviously with Nearby, there will always be certain amount of money that you will save. Either you'll get a value add or you'll save some money. So while we are not promising today that you will get the best deal on Nearby, what we're promising is you will always save some money. Boomers, what is that? So Kratvir, I think I've answered that question in the past. Moving on to the next question. That question has been posted by Palak. Why do you think people will prefer you more than other more popular e-tailers? What is the additional or unique thing Nearby offers? Very, very good question, Palak. I think firstly, the most important thing about Nearby is the promise. I don't think there's anybody else in the market who guarantees your experience. So what we're saying is we are helping you find the best places. We are helping you reserve a spot for yourself on those best places. We are also helping you save some money. And in the end, we are responsible for your experience. So all in all, it's a win-win for you as a consumer. You're getting to know what the things are around you. You're getting a very, very convenient way to block your evening or block your time at a particular establishment. You're saving some money, and at the same time, your money is safe with us. It's almost like an insurance that you've taken for the meal for the new restaurant that you're trying today evening. And that is the benefit. That's why consumers are choosing us, and that's why the consumers will continue to kind of use us. We've got a lot of great reviews from consumers saying that we really like the fact that you almost take responsibility of the experience and ensure that we have a good time. And if any time a customer has not had a good time, we've refunded that money. So that's why we believe that customers will choose us. But do write into us, giving us some more insights if you feel there's anything else that we should do. Murtaza, why is it named as Nearby Ninjas? What is the logic behind keeping it ninja oriented? Murtaza, I covered that in the slide. That's a good question. So what we believe is ninjas were secret operatives who did not go out on a rampage openly, but very secretively got the information we want each one of you to blend in the social fabric of our customers, really get us the insight, get us the most important things that help make a decision when people walk out into the outside world. That's why it's almost like an undercover operation, and that's why we call it ninjas. Hope that answers your question. If it still doesn't, please post another question and I'll be happy to take it. Murtaza, again, your next question is, why did Groupon decide to become Nearby? Well, Groupon was more famous and international brand. Very valid question. I also covered this partially while I was taking the presentation, that Groupon was about deals. And Groupon is the best and the biggest deal site in the world, no questions asked. But we wanted to move away from being a deal site. And the reason for that is something that I explained. Everywhere you see deals, to an extent that the belief that people have on the word deals is going down. Also, as you move on, you will realize that when you're going for an important occasion, when you're taking your family out, when you're taking your office colleagues out, it's very important for you to ensure that the experience is very, very good. Today you're in college. Yes, you operate with limited resources, so deals are very important to you. It's also very important to a large set of customers, but more than the deal is the experience. As a deal site, when you buy a voucher as a deal site, when somebody buys a voucher for a 5-star hotel, or somebody buys a voucher for a high-end restaurant or a high-end gaming arcade, there's always this fear that people carry with themselves, saying that, oh my God, because I've got a 50% off, am I going to compromise on the experience? Well, that's something that we want to totally remove. And that's why we moved to Nearby. The second thing is Nearby, as the name suggests, near and by, is about commerce. It's about local commerce. It's about commerce that happens in and around you in the 2-kilometer square radius where you are right now present. So we are about local commerce. We're not about deals. That's why we are Nearby and not Groupon. Trishla, how you survey or how you innovate new idea in discovery phase, where you create new idea, and how you ensure that the customer care quality. Okay, so Trishla, I believe what you're trying to ask here is, how do you understand what the consumers want? How do you survey? And how do you come up with new and innovative ideas? So there are 3 things that we use, Trishla. One is we are continuously in touch with our customers through various mechanisms. There are surveys that are going out. Our customer service teams are talking to consumers. Our sales teams are out there talking to merchants. So we get a lot of on-ground feedback. We also, as the marketing team, undertake an exercise every 3 months to especially call our customers and understand their users, their motivations, their grievances, their happiness with Nearby. We also send out formal surveys. So if you've registered on Nearby, you might receive a survey very, very soon. These are small, brief, short surveys, web surveys using tools like SurveyMonkey or even Google. And we send out short surveys, and that's how we get to know the preferences. As far as innovation is concerned, as I mentioned earlier, it's based on insight. We look at what is it that the customer wants, and we believe that great brands are created not by doing TV campaigns, but by solving a customer's problem. That's what we're trying to do. Hope that answers your question. Ravi says, sir, I want to know what kind of projects we do in this internship. Ravi, that will come to you very, very soon while you're signed up on the Nearby Ninjas page. The projects will be very, very exciting. I assure you, they will not be of any salesy nature. They will be very, very interesting and creative projects coming your way. Okay, Mridul, can you throw some light on revenue model for Nearby? Sure. So Nearby charges a commission to the merchant when we actually bring in customers. So how we do it, let's say you run a restaurant, Mridul, and we'll come to you and we'll say your standard meal for 2 costs 500 rupees. Give that to us at 300 rupees and we will publish it on the site for 350 rupees. That means the end customer comes and buys it for 350 rupees. We retain the 50 bucks and we give the rest 300 to the merchant. That's how we make our money. So we make our money in terms of commissions from our merchants. Hope that answers your question. Rohit, is data analytics a big part in your information gathering, and what was the idea behind the awesome name Nearby? Thank you, Rohit, for saying that the name was awesome. In fact, that name was given to us by not the marketing department, but by our CFO. and he's a very, very creative person. He was the one who named this company Nearby. Data analytics is a very, very big part of our system. As I said, insight cannot come without data. We have a full-fledged business intelligence team that works on data 24/7. Each of our departments, whether it's marketing or sales or business development or finance, everybody is taking data-driven decisions. We're working on countless numbers and we do a lot of number crunching. So if you ever visit Nearby, you'll see that Microsoft Excel is one of our favorite tools that we use in this organization because we do crunch a lot of data. Okay, Neha, when the interns are working in company, you can maintain better relations than having interns online. How will the company maintain the same trust with more than 100 interns in marketing, which you said is the new marketing section? Well, Neha, we trust, as we said, respect, ownership, performance. We've gone through a special process of recruiting our interns. We believe that you guys are the best and the smartest people, the smartest youngsters out there, and we've done this twice over and we've had some awesome experience. Kapil's been running this program for a living now and he knows how it's done. So we place our trust, and that's what we believe, that if we place our trust, the same is reciprocated to us, and that's how we maintain. We obviously don't have physical capacity to have 1,000 interns in our office, but we'll try. And if you're in Delhi, please walk into our office any point in time and we'll be happy to host you. Ravi, sir, may I know what is strength of employees in Nearby? We're about 400 employees today, Ravi. Anandam, what are steps we are taking to compete with little? Very interesting question. We actually don't want to compete with anybody else. We want to compete with ourselves. We're really not taking any steps. We're just thinking of our merchants and we're thinking of our customers and we're trying and solving their problems. We're really not competing with anybody. I think every company has an ethos, every company has a brand proposition, and we're trying to fulfill the promises that we make. We don't want to compete with anybody. What is the turnover of the company? This year, Ravi, we plan to do 300 crores in top line. That's the turnover that we are targeting for this year. Sambit, sir, Groupon is an app mostly for youth. Most of the 16 to 20 age group people, they don't carry plastic money all the time. So what I want to say is, if you have a cash on delivery type of thing in the Nearby app, it would be great. Sambit, that is something that we've got a lot of feedback on. We've tried it in the past, and to be honest, we did not have more than 1% of our customers using cash on delivery. It's a service model at the end of the day. You're consuming a service. We know that debit and credit cards and net banking is not something that is used by everybody in this country, but that adoption is growing, especially with the growth of wallets like Paytm, MobiKwik. A lot of people have started using these wallets. And we believe the experience is much better. Rather than keeping cash as an alternative, when we had that during the Groupon days, less than 1% of our customers actually used it. So we've decided not to have that, anytime in the near future at least. Okay, Rohan, why is it Nearby by Groupon? Is it still part of Groupon? While it's still a part of Groupon, so Groupon is still a shareholder in Nearby. But that by Groupon was only in the temporary phase that we were transitioning from Nearby to Groupon. You have to understand that Groupon is an established brand and creating a new brand is never easy. So to maintain that continuity, that by Groupon was there, but slowly you will start to see that by Groupon will actually start moving out and will only be called Nearby. How far are we using digital marketing for your promotions in the brand new cities? I don't know, Anandam, if that question is specifically about the interns, but if it is about the interns, yes, you will be using digital marketing. You will be learning the basics of affiliate marketing, and that's part of the process, and Kapil will give you more details on that. If you're asking that how much digital marketing do we use here in nearby, I would say 80%, 90% of our marketing budgets are spent on digital marketing. From Google AdWords to Facebook to affiliate marketing to mobile marketing, we use everything that is as far as digital marketing is concerned. Mohit, I have been part of Nearby customer acquisition program earlier this year. Is Nearby Ninja also similar kind of thing? Mohit, I don't know what you mean by Nearby customer acquisition program. If you're trying to hint at the referral program, I don't know. Though that was not Nearby Ninjas, that was a referral program that all companies run. This is separate. This is an internship program. But if you have more questions, you can write to Kapil. .gera@nearby.com and he can answer your questions. Sujit, what are the colors on the positions placed on India map in the second slide? Okay, Sujit, maybe I went through that slide very, very fast. Those are the physical offices, the physical locations where Nearby is present. So we are present across 33 cities in this country. So the colorful dots are actually location pins of where all we have a physical presence. As a marketing intern, do we, so Trishla, once again, as a marketing intern, do we get a chance to present new ideas and deals during the 5-week internship? Absolutely. Please keep throwing in your ideas and bombarding Kapil with every thought that comes into your head. Do not hesitate. Please go ahead and throw your ideas. You can mark me also, sachin.kapur@nearby.com. Send in your emails and we'll be happy to discuss those ideas. Ishan, here we got the throughout information of Groupon, but please give us idea for what we are here as interns to help. Do we help you guys in giving creative solutions to problems or we make some projects? Okay, so Ishan, I think your query is about what the internship program will be all about. That will be unfolding in the next few days on our Facebook group. You will have tasks that you will go through. Some of these tasks will be aimed at giving you certain concept clarity of Nearby on the Nearby business model. There will also be surveys where you will help us gather information about our customers. There will also be some fun tasks where you'll be spreading the word for Nearby. So all in all, it will be a fun related thing, but do share your feedback once you receive the detailed information on what the tasks are all about. Bhanu, sir, are we going to focus more on social media or digital marketing? Both. Social media is going to be a big part of what you're going to do. Groupon and Nearby are similar or quite different. Well, when Nearby started, it was like Groupon, but as we progress and evolve, it will be very, very different. The end vision for Nearby is very different from Groupon. Groupon was about deals, Nearby is about discovery. What exactly the advantages merchants are going to get when they tie up? I answered this question, Bhanu, but just a quick recap. Merchants get a very, very unique marketing platform which gives them free branding and they only have to pay when customers walk in. That's what the benefit that customers get. Guru Prasad, how successful are the Nearby Ninjas 1 and 2? Fantastic question, and I'm very glad to say super successful. One of the most loved internship programs. You can see the response that we got this time was phenomenal. So I believe, and I'm led to believe, that this is definitely a popular internship program. Aditya, just to give more clarity, do you charge the merchant a fee upon joining? No, we don't charge anything upon joining, or it's just the commission. It's just the commission. We don't charge a joining fee at all. And that looks like it was the last question. I'm going to refresh the page and see if there were any more questions here. Okay, just give me a moment. Maninder Singh. Maninder Singh, you'll have to share your question again. I don't. Okay. Okay, Aditya, thanks for answering my queries. This one is not related to marketing, but rather about motivation. Don't you feel you could use Maslow's hierarchy and cater to the needs of the employees depending on the level they are at? Maybe a trip to Goa would not really motivate an employee as compared to a monetary bonus offered to them. So Aditya, very, very interesting thought. Maslow's hierarchy, thanks for putting that in. Yes. And I would say that, the culture that we've built here, it's not just about money. We know that different people are motivated by different things. For some, money is important. For some, what it requires is a pat on the back, and for some, a trip to Goa is quite crazy. So we do have monetary incentives in terms of bonuses. We do have ESOP plans. We have a lot of other sort of motivating factors going in. But we believe that the single thing that motivates our employees is great work and building a great company. And that's what it is. And yes, we do have monetary incentives also. It's not that we take people to Goa and not give them any money and make them work for free. No, we do pay them salaries. Murtaza, once again, what resources should interns take advantage of and focus on the duration of the internship? You'll be told everything, Murtaza. I know you have a little bit of butterflies in your stomach right now, but Kapil will answer all your questions, so don't worry on that. Nabil Ahmed asking, without being mousy, what will an intern gain other than obvious development and perks? Nabil, I think that is a question I would like you to answer at the end of the program. I think from my end, what I want you to earn is neither the perks nor the development, but just an experience and learning. If we managed to, for you to have fun and learn at the same time, then I think our objective would have been achieved. We don't want you to take away anything else besides learning and a lot of fun. Bhanu, are you looking forward towards establishing new branches in different states? No, not at the moment. We have 33 cities that we operate in, and we're not planning to expand. Maninder, if you could send in your question again. I haven't seen your question. How can we share if we got any ideas with us? Please send us an email. kapil.gira@nearbuy.com or sachin.kapur@nearbuy.com. Send in your ideas. Mridul, how does the business units gain by offering high discounts? Is it only business promotion or other factors too? Not all businesses give high discounts. High discounts are only given for off-peak hours. If you see most of our offers during peak hours, they're not very highly discounted. It's something that has to be mutually beneficial for the merchant and for the consumer. If it's only beneficial to the consumer, the merchant will not give a good service. So business units gain by filling up spare capacity during off-peak hours. That's how business units gain. Okay, so that's it. Time's up. I don't think I'll be able to take any more questions at the moment, but please mail them to me, and I will ensure that most of your questions are answered. Thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed this webinar, and we'll try and see if we can have one more before the session ends. And I'd like to interact with as many of you as possible. Once again, congratulations. You should be super proud of being part of this program, as proud as we are. Kapil, you want to say something before we wrap up?
I think just wish them all the best with the program so that they can actually end up learning a lot, and even whatever they are here for, like even if they're here for the perks or the gifts, they should be able to make sure that they get everything out of this.
All right, thank you so much. Have a nice day.